This is Alex Greeling again, and I observed third grade as well, so I'll be reporting on that. In this class, it was the same teacher. She also did stations just like the first grade class. They did 4 stations rather than 5. They did jump rope in groups, so it had the long jump rope with groups of 3 or 4 jumping, and then they did the individual jump rope again, and dribbling and shooting basketballs, and using a scoop and a ball to throw back and forth to each other or self-toss. Some of the motor capabilities that I saw were walking, jogging, and running, throwing and catching, dribbling, shooting, changing direction, and one thing I noticed that was different from first grade was that they were increasing their speed and their accuracy, so they were becoming more consistent in how well they could perform the activities. They could focus for a little longer than the 6th graders, probably between 6 to 7 minutes. They weren't roaming as much. They stayed in one spot at their station, and they didn't need to wear colors to indicate what group they were in. They were very responsible in staying in their own, where they were supposed to be. They were able to work as individuals. Again, they could choose to work by themselves or with groups or partners. Unless it was the long jump rope, then they needed to work in groups. And they moved from station to station in a very organized way. They didn't have to be monitored. The one additional piece that the teacher used was she talked about heart rate. So after every station she would say freeze, and they would measure their heart rate. She would use a timer, and they would see if their heart rate had increased from the rest that they had taken in the beginning. So I noticed that most of the skills they were practicing, most children were at the control level. That was on average, meaning that they were becoming more accurate in how many times they could do something correctly, except they still were struggling in some areas. Some outliers were still at the pre-control level. A few children still could not jump rope very easily, and some of them had a hard time dribbling and shooting. But some children were at the utilization level, meaning that they could probably use that in a game or almost there. And that was third grade.